This is the Magic Loop sock knitting lesson. It's a series of videos that will get you through Magic Loop sock knitting, which is a way of knitting socks with a long circular needle instead of double pointed needles. And we are using a simple worsted weight sock pattern for this. The pattern is available for purchase and download at VeryPink.com. Or you can use these videos to get you through the trickier parts of Magic Loop sock knitting. It's a tongue twister for any pattern, but this pattern is available at VeryPink.com. Okay, to get started, first want to explain to you what we're going to do here and how this is going to look. For double pointed needles, we can knit a small circumference like a sock cuff or of course the whole sock, because we have this little triangle that we're working on, and the 3 or more needles allows us to do that. But we're not talking about double pointed needles right now. Instead of having things on 2 needles, we're going to use this long circular to have the sock split up in half in 2 segments, with cord sticking out one side and the needle sticking out the other. And that will allow us to knit a tiny tube like this. And it actually is kind of less fussing around, because with double pointed needles, you're switching back and forth from 3 needles and always readjusting. And with Magic Loop, 3 or more needles, of course. With Magic Loop knitting, you have half your stitches on one side and half on the other, which is kind of less fiddling around. Okay, so we're going to start with a cast on and cast on the number of stitches that your pattern says. And we're going to go ahead and speed up through this long tail cast on. Okay, we've finished our cast on, and to get started with Magic Loop, first thing you want to do is to slide those stitches out to the cord and then find the spot that marks the halfway point. So half the stitches are on one side, half are on the other. Fold that and pull the cord through like this. Okay. Scoot that back onto your needles so that you can see if everything is straightened out. Just like with double pointed needles, we want to be careful with this part to make sure that nothing is twisted. To get started with this, I want you to flip it around so that the working yarn is on what we have as the back needle right now. Okay, nothing's twisted. Scoot everything to the tips of the needle. So what's going to happen here? You're going to use this working yarn to knit this stitch first, and that's going to close up the loop. And the way to get that needle around to make it happen is to pull the back needle long with a lot of cord sticking out. And now I'm going to scoot these close to the tip and work this first stitch. And in this pattern, we're starting with 2 by 2 rib. So I'm going to knit 2, purl 2 all the way across. And the cast on row, of course, is always the toughest to work. And we're trying to keep things from getting twisted. So the first part of the Magic Loop socks are the fiddliest part of the whole sock. Okay, you should end with purl 2. And then we move on to the next needle. Okay, we worked all the way across that. Now I'm going to flip it around and have the working yarn on the back needle again and pull the cord down so that my needles are lined up again. Oh, and I wish I had done a looser cast on. This would have been easier to slide. Okay, again, my working yarn's back here. My needles are lined up. This is going to be my first stitch opposite the working yarn. So I pull this needle long and work the next needle. And one trick I want to show you is this first stitch that you're knitting on each needle, remember you're working from the cord over here, and that stitch can be pulled really tightly. You want to watch the tension on the first stitch because this isn't on a needle, it's on the cord. So wrap it and pull it through, watching your tension, kind of eyeballing it for, make it as tight as if there was a needle there, kind of a thing. Okay, that is the cast on, and you're going to work the cuff for, in this pattern, you're going to work the cuff for 2 inches and then knit 3 rounds plain, and we will be ready to start the heel flap.